This is the YouTube edition of my book, A Course in Miracles Workbook Nuggets. Workbook Nuggets was written to be a commentary or study aid for the course's workbook for students. I'll begin by reading the book's full commentary on today's workbook lesson over a visual of the book's text. I'll then return with some impromptu thoughts and comments on today's lesson and my commentary. A link to the book on Amazon.com is provided below. Lesson number 24, January 24. I do not perceive my own best interests. Quote, if you realize that you do not perceive your own best interests, you could be taught what they are. That is today's lesson in a nutshell. It is the way forward. And it is good news because it tells us that there is a way forward. You currently see your own best interests from the limited perspective of your ego. Not only is that perspective very narrow, it is also generally internally inconsistent, incorporating differing and even unrelated goals and concerns. The Course endeavors to teach you to automatically see from a much broader perspective, one that we all share as the one self or Son of God. The commentary I just read from my book, Workbook Nuggets, focuses on one aspect of today's lesson, and that is the fact that you must first realize how you are seen now before you can appreciate the new vision described by the Course. I'd like now to focus on a different aspect of today's lesson. The more you study the Course, the more you will realize how much is packed into each lesson. It really is extraordinary. The richness and consistency are so great that alone convinces me, personally, of the divine source of the three principal Course volumes. The first sentence of today's lesson reads, quote, in no situation that arises do you realize the outcome that would make you happy. End quote. If we are honest with ourselves, we know that this is true. I bet that you can think of many examples in your own life. We all can. Yet, in the present, in the moment that a situation faces us, we think we know what we want and need. We say to ourselves repeatedly, that if I only had this or that, or if only this or that would occur, I'd be happy. More importantly, we endlessly repeat the same unconsciously. And maybe you would be happy for a bit, but you know it wouldn't last. It certainly would not be permanent. You know that sooner or later, some new urgent want or need would arise, or the so-called perfect solution that you so wanted would turn out not to be what you were so sure that it would be. As the lesson states, you don't perceive your own best interest. We never do. None of us do. This is not a criticism of you personally. It is a criticism of how we all have been taught to interpret and understand our world. It's a criticism of the star to which we have hitched our wagon. We are relying on the guidance of our own ordinary consciousness, our ego, a consciousness that has been trained in the so-called wisdom of our obviously very imperfect and fallible world. Why would you expect results better than those we see each day and every day in our world? But there is a better way. There is a better guide. And it's not an external guide, not some new leader or master. This guide is you, the real, eternal you, waiting to be remembered. The Course is teaching you how to clear away the blocks, the clouds that obscure that memory. That is why we study the Course.